Hello friends, welcome to our channel Creating Essence. I am Megan. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I am going to be doing a Seasoned Homeschoolers Tag today. I'll be answering 10 questions about my experiences as a veteran homeschooler. If you're new to this channel, I have 6 kids ranging in age from just about to turn 13 down to 3.5. This is our 10th year homeschooling. If you are a new homeschooler, feel free to put any questions you have down in the info box below. I am always happy to answer them. Today I'll be answering these 10 specific questions I saw on the tag over at Home Sweet Homeschool. I will put a link to her channel down below in the info box. Question number 1. What time does your homeschool day begin and end? Our homeschool day usually starts between 8:30 and 9:30. We have a pretty solid morning rhythm of breakfast and chores and things, and then we get going on schoolwork after that. Depending on how long people take, it's usually between 8:30 and 9:30. What time we end is entirely up to the kids. My oldest is in 8th grade and my youngest is loosely preschoolish. My first grader is my youngest that's doing formal homeschool, and he usually takes about an hour to an hour and a half, most of it sitting beside me. I don't have to read everything to him because he is a very proficient reader, but I'm just kind of there to, we'll say, keep him on task. My oldest 2 are my daughter in 8th grade and my son who is in 6th grade. My 6th grade son has high functioning autism and profound sensory processing disorder. So he does struggle with impulsivity and focus. So when he is super focused on schoolwork, he can be done in 2 to 3 hours. When he's not, we might still be doing schoolwork at 9 o'clock at night. I'm not even exaggerating. Most of the time, we have about a 3 to 4 hour school day. So typically we get going around 8:30 and we're done by lunch at 12:30. Once in a while, we have about an hour or so of schoolwork to finish up after lunch. But usually when we hit that after lunch time period, the kids realize, wait, my dawdling is cutting into my afternoon free choice time. This isn't cool. And they buckle down and get it done. Question number 2, how is your school year / calendar scheduled? This is our 2nd year doing year-round schooling. That means we start our school year around August 1st. In our state, which is Virginia, we need to turn in end of the year reporting by August 1st, and by August 15th have to turn in our notice of intent to homeschool for the new school year. I have the process pretty streamlined, and I have our end of the year reporting all done up in a nice packet with a cover letter that is my notice of intent to homeschool for the next year, and have it in by August 1st. And that is when we technically begin our new school year. We typically have a 6 weeks on, 2 weeks off school schedule. It works really, really well for us. Question number 3, what are your top 3 educator resources? I guess you'd have to define what that means, like resources for you as an educator. I would go with a good supportive veteran homeschooling friend. I am so grateful that I had one of these in my early years. My friend Wendy, I have known since my oldest and her 6th were a couple weeks old. And at that time she was homeschooling all of her kids. Her support and advice and recommendations were invaluable, especially in those early years. For the second one, probably Pinterest. I do a lot of searching Pinterest for ideas on hands-on projects, art projects, stuff like that, just to give me something to start with and make it work how my kids do best. And my third would probably be YouTube. I was a YouTube viewer long before I was a creator, and there are so many wonderful homeschooling channels that are just a wealth of information, of reviews on specific curricula or just specific books within a curricula, and just so many methods and ideas for routines and different things. YouTube is just, if you haven't searched YouTube for something you have questions about, you should try. Number 4, what are your top tips for record keeping? Well, thankfully in my state, I don't really need to keep that many records. I keep a copy every single year of our end of the year evaluations and our notice of intent to homeschool, as well as any correspondence that the school district sends back to me. I have a 3-ring binder that's specifically for this, and every year's paperwork goes into one of those paper protectors, like those clear things that actually can fit a few pages. Everything goes right in there, and so all my records for a whole year are right there in a binder, and everything for each year is right there in a sleeve protector. It works really well for me, and I'm grateful I really don't have to hang on to that much more stuff. Question number 5. Where do you go to find inspiration for creative lesson plans? Pinterest, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, social media. Really. I mean, you can search hashtags and search terms and come up with so many ideas and just kind of sift through them and see if those are things that might work for your family. Question number 6. What advice would you give to prospective and new homeschool families? Don't try to do everything all at once. I am a former school teacher. Before I had kids, I had a classroom of 30 kids that I taught every day. The amount of stuff that you can get done and get through to your kids on in just a few minutes is most of the time exponentially more than a whole class period in a standard American school. Because think about it. You're sitting there with one 6-year-old trying to help them understand a concept, and a teacher has 30 of them that she's trying to do it with. You're getting through with way more information and way more content than any teacher can. In all seriousness, most of the time spent in the classroom is trying to get people to listen and trying to get their attention back and trying to get them to stop talking. It's not actually administering the information. So don't fret. Odds are you're doing way better than you think you are. Number 7, what is something that has surprised you about homeschooling? This is not going to be the popular answer, but doing a co-op is not a good thing for our family. So many people think they must do a co-op, like that is part of the essential homeschool experience. There are ways of homeschooling that promote themselves as being like the best. Like, you are not giving your child's education proper attention if you are not doing this specific way of teaching with this community group every week. I have seen it hundreds, maybe even thousands of times on Facebook groups and YouTube and in person in my community. And we've tried a lot of groups. And for our family, the distraction, the time lost is not worth it. We get way more out of our homeschool experience, out of community, when we do what we need to do on our schedule. Then we get together with friends and just have fun, or do a park school day, or meet up with other homeschool friends at an event. Having that regular interruption into our lives that is a homeschool co-op is just not good for us. And that was pretty surprising, because I think a lot of people think a co-op is a must. Question number 8. In what ways have you been challenged while homeschooling? People like to say, "Oh, you must be such a patient person." Nope. No. This red hair is authentic. Never been colored. And you might say the stereotype about the temper is true. What I can tell you is that you will learn right alongside with your kids, and maybe if you're like me, that means learning how to keep your temper in check. I learned how to put all my frustration into a little pencil and break it. We've had a lot of broken Ticonderogas over the years, but I think the thing that has surprised me most is that 10 years into it, I would not consider myself a short-tempered person anymore, because I guess my kids' everyday iron has sharpened my iron and I can handle it. Question number 9. How do you make time for self-care, and what are your favorite self-care activities? I have talked about my morning routine in other videos. I will link them down below. But for me, as an introvert and a highly sensitive person, and a mom of many, I need that focused, quiet time before the kids are out of bed. Spending time in prayer, getting my exercise done, drinking water, taking supplements, and just enjoying the silence. Because once they get up at 7, the silence is over until 8 o'clock at night. For me, that is the ultimate self-care. And the bonus 10th question. But what about socialization? I hear that question a lot. It's kind of, I don't know. It just comes out of people. You say homeschool, and people who know nothing about homeschooling go, bleh, socialization. It's a really weird phenomenon. What I can tell you is that socialization is the process of learning to behave in a way that is acceptable to society. Well, friends, I'm here to tell you that maybe I'm a socialization snob. Maybe I would prefer that my children learn the acceptable ways of behaving in society, not from other 10-year-olds. Maybe I prefer them to learn it from me and my husband and our family friends who have similar expectations for our kids. My kids have a whole lot of siblings. They socialize all day. The pseudo-socialization that is forced interaction and association with children of exactly your same age, that is the public school system, is truly not healthy. As a teacher and a child development specialist, I can say that with 100% confidence. Now, as a mother of a bunch of beautiful kids, I dare say I have 200% confidence now. I don't really care about socialization. I would rather my kids learn how to behave at home, where it's aligned with our family's standards. And that's all. If you are a seasoned homeschooler and would like to answer these questions, I would love to hear your answers. I am always learning from people. I will type up all these questions and put them in the info box below, and you go ahead and answer them. Let me know if you do so I can head on over and watch yours. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us today. If you like this video, as always, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to hang out for more. We'll see you again soon.